Good morning. It's about 10 to 6 on Friday the 8th of March and I'm about 15 minutes into my first 300 kilometre DIY audax of the year. In fact, the first of the season. Last one I did was probably last September. So I referred to it in my last video. I always find the jump from 200 kilometres up to 300 kilometres quite a quantum leap. Once you get past 300 you begin to sort of think anything's possible, and it is. So first observation is it's 10 to 6, I've been on the road 15 minutes and the sun's already rising. The sky is more blue than black. There's a very bright planet over there just above the horizon, probably Venus. The route from Bath heads westwards up to the outskirts of Oxford, and then it does a direction change on the outskirts of Oxford, northwestish up to Chipping Camden in the Cotswolds, which is the furthest point north, and then I start coming down southwestish. Looks like it's going to be a headwind this afternoon, so the latter half of the ride I think is going to be quite challenging. I've called the route the Prudent Student 300, and it's based on a calendar event called the Poor Student 200. I saw some friends ride it on Strava earlier in the year and I noticed it comes down very close to Bath, so I've just added about 100k onto it. Haven't used the route completely, it's just based on the Poor Student. I think the title's quite appropriate because I am actually an online student. I've no interest whatsoever in qualifications, so I don't bother paying for it. I just do online courses, and that way you can study pretty much anything you want, anywhere in the world, at any level you want. So all I really want from education is I want to be taught the concepts and then just be left alone and not tested constantly. I can figure it out myself once I've got the information. So it's now 7 AM and I've just crossed the M4 above Dauncey. I'm heading up towards Highworth. Been going 2 hours now. As you can probably see, it's completely light. And as you can also see, I'm back on dropped handlebars and 700C wheels. First time since about October, I think. I ride the Caribou through the winter with the straight handlebars and the 26-inch wheels. It just feels so much safer, but this morning feels so much easier, quicker. It's a joy to ride as well. So next stop, Prudent, I expect. I normally pop in there and get a soft drink and maybe a sandwich. So it's about 7:45 now and I've just stopped at Prudent to get a fizzy drink and a couple of sticky cakes. Also just given my Garmin a quick charge, 10-15 minute charge. And my light, I've attached it to a rechargeable battery. The battery will switch off as soon as the device is charged, so I can just leave that in my saddlebag and then it'll be ready fully charged tonight as it gets dark. Just riding through the Tadpole estate on the outskirts of Swindon. Very busy being rush hour. A lot of people driving to work, but the great thing is there's these silky smooth cycle paths, and to avoid a hill in just a minute I'm just going to be going through a housing estate over there. That really does avoid a nasty hill with a lot of traffic building up behind you. So I'm just using my mobile phone to film today. The high definition action camera I got, I'm very unhappy with the quality of it. It overexposes a lot. Very disappointed with its performance. It's a movie K2, I can't possibly ever recommend that. So I'm trying this as a bit of an experiment. Well, I'm now in the village of Cumnor on the outskirts of Oxford. I'm about a third of the way around this anti-clockwise circuit. I'm actually sat in the church porch. I've bunked down there a few times. This is a really cosy one. Nice wooden door into the church, nice wooden outer door. So it really is, I shouldn't be recommending it, but I bumped through it a few times. It's even got some toilets there. I'm quite pleased with the progress so far. It has been fairly flat after the climb out of Bath and I have had a tailwind, and I'm not yet tired. So I'm just having 10 minutes here, have a quick sandwich, give my Garmin a charge. Then I'll be dropping down to the outskirts of Oxford on this anti-clockwise route. Then I start my northwest leg up towards, first of all, Morton in the Marsh, and then Chipping Camden before I do my final turn back to Bath. That's where it gets hilly, that's where there's rain forecast, that's where it's going to be windy, and that's where the tires could start kicking in. So I think the final part of the ride is probably going to be quite tough later on. At the moment, my Garmin is estimating I'm going to be home before 9 o'clock, but I think being more realistic is going to be between 10, 11, maybe even 12. My cut-off time is 2 minutes past 2 tomorrow morning. So, riding next this really busy road on what looks like an old service road. So, about 5 miles north of Moreton in Marsh, I've arrived at my most northerly point, Chipping Camden. I believe this is the northern end of the Cotswold Way long distance footpath which starts in Bath. So I've just come down that way. I'm literally going to do a U-turn now and go back that way. This was just a very small dogleg to make the distance up. It really is just barely 300 kilometres, 300 kilometres 0.6 I think, so I'm going to have to watch it that I'm at least the distance when I get home. So it's now just gone 4 o'clock. I'm at round about 2/3 of the distance, 200 kilometres, just about to cross this really busy road, the A40. But quite high up here. Look at the state of that bus yard, so you can tell how exposed and bleak it is up here. So I've just come up this road. You do this little kink, and then you go down that side road there, down into a valley. Then there's a steep climb up the other side, and then it's a few miles into Cirencester. The wind is picking up a little bit. It's been quite hard work riding into it. Not blustery, just enough to really slow you down. So I've lost a bit of my pace the last few hours. Now estimating to get back in home about 9:30 according to the Garmin. I still believe it'll be somewhere between 10 and 11 eventually. It's 8:30 now. I'm in Malmesbury, so a quick update. When I crossed the A40, I dropped down into the valley, and then there's a big climb up towards Cirencester, and that was okay. But once I got up on the top, it was quite exposed. The rain, the wind just made me really cold. By the time I got to Cirencester, I just dived in there, a filling station, got some food and a hot coffee, and quite cold there. Then after that, the wind's been very beneficial since Cirencester, but I'm having to be very careful on the lanes because they're quite dark. Some of them are a bit rough, potholy, muddy. I'm very aware that I'm only today back on narrow tyres, so I've been taking it quite steady. Just rung Linda to tell her my estimated time of finish is going to be about 11 PM, ish, a bit before, a bit after. So I'm running out of battery. I'm running out of battery very rapidly, so I think I'll finish the film here actually. About 2 hours back to Bath. Physically I'm okay, just the conditions been quite hard, but it's one of those rides that give you a bit of backbone and resilience. So I've enjoyed it.